The Wall Street Journal has a really chilling report out on Donald Trump's son-in-law meeting with top executives at Time Warner. So Time Warner actually owns CNN, and in this meeting, he complained about CNN. That's not a good sign, especially since Jared Kushner is close to Trump and helps Trump out with various duties as president of the United States, and he's one of the few people that Trump actually listens to. So here's what they say. Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and close advisor, met with a senior Time Warner executive in recent weeks and expressed the administration's deep concerns about CNN's news coverage. Mr. Kushner has taken issues with specific CNN contributors, including Van Jones, a Democrat who served in the Obama administration, and Ana Navarro, a Republican strategist, who have each criticized Mr. Trump in harsh terms. Okay. Here's what should have happened in this meeting. Nothing, because it shouldn't have happened. Why are Time Warner executives who own CNN, why are they meeting with top White House officials and advisors? That's not a thing. That shouldn't be okay. Because you're supposed to have an adversarial relationship. You're supposed to have the media be a watchdog of the government and the people who are in power. And here they are abdicating those responsibilities to meet in what is effectively a smoke-filled back room so the government can complain about how they don't like the tone. I don't like the tone. This is exactly what we got mad at the DNC for during the primary race, because Debbie Wasserman Schultz would get in contact with MSNBC officials and say, look, I don't like the way Mika Brzezinski and the people on Morning Joe are talking about Hillary Clinton and myself and the DNC. So, maybe I talk to their boss. Maybe I get in contact with Phil Griffin. How about that? Maybe I do that, and then maybe they learn their place. Okay, so that is absolutely absurd. And by the way, you had Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who's in the government, pressuring the media. You can make an argument that's just a clear violation of the First Amendment and freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Well, this is a similar thing. Jared Kushner, a top White House official, meeting with Time Warner and saying, look, I'm not mandating by law that you do something against Ana Navarro and Van Jones. I'm just saying that Ana Navarro and Van Jones, we really don't like them. By the way, let me be clear about something. I actually don't like Ana Navarro at all. I think she's a terrible commentator. She was just kind of a standard, run-of-the-mill, mainline Republican not that long ago, but then when Trump came into power and kind of wore his bigotry on his sleeve and said stuff like Mexicans are rapists, she was like, oh, I'm offended by that, so now, I'm anti-Trump, and now she just kind of sounds like a mainline partisan Democrat. So I don't even like her. Van Jones is a mixed bag. Oftentimes I agree with him and like him, but it's not even about Van Jones and Ana Navarro specifically, because when you have the government saying, I'm against this, I'm against these hosts, I'm against the way the media is portraying us and all that stuff. Well, now, motherfucker, you put me in a corner, and even though I don't like Ana Navarro, I'm going to give her a raise. That's what I'm going to do. Because that's the point. The media is supposed to be adversarial, whether it's a Democratic administration or Republican administration. This isn't, you got to understand, I'm not going on a partisan rant here, because the reality is, under Obama, I wish they were tougher. I wish they would point out the fact every single goddamn day that 90% of the people that you're getting with the drone strikes are the wrong people. You killed a 16-year-old American citizen with a drone and acted like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is totally fine. This is totally constitutional and allowed. So I wish they were tougher on Obama. I wish they went after him when it actually mattered on the issues that mattered. So it's not partisan. It's about that's the way the media is supposed to function. But here you have a situation where people in the government are saying, well, let me just pressure the media. And that, make no mistake about it, that's what this is. That's what this is. They're in the government and they're saying, I'm not forcing you because I can't force you, because that's the way our country works. We don't have official state media. I'm not forcing you to, penalize them or fire them or do something like that. But let me just say, Ana Navarro and Van Jones, not the biggest fans. This is just like what we saw with Debbie Wasserman Schultz in the DNC during the primary with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Pressure on the media to help Hillary. Now we have pressure on the media and CNN to help the Trump administration. And Jared Kushner was able to do in a smoke-filled back room, like I'm describing to you here. We're going to get to a story in a little bit where Trump can't contain himself, and he's saying this shit out in public. In press conferences, he's like, you should go softer on Trump. Sad. So we're going to get to that in a second, but there you have it. You know, you have multiple prongs that show an authoritarian approach here. Whether it's the breaking news that we just learned, Trump might do 100,000 National Guardsmen and round up undocumented immigrants, or whether it's stuff like this. This is a move in a further authoritarian direction. We were already authoritarian in many respects. This is just, putting it on human growth hormone and steroids.